Australian family farms face the challenge of a lifetime.
It's almost the perfect storm at the moment.
Overnight, our income had reduced by somewhere in the order of 60 to 70%.
Cherished as the backbone of a nation and the heart of communities.
You're up at 4 or 5 in the morning, you finish late. That's okay, that's what we do, we love that.
Small family farms are disappearing across the country.
Heard something on the news and I just thought, what does that actually mean for us?
We went numb. It was pretty devastating.
But they're fighting back.
I thought, I need to step up here.
On land and at sea, farmers are turning back the clock in a modern take
Corporates come and go. We need to foster the family farm.
on working together.
We're a bunch of farmers one day and then the next we're coming together to form a co-op.
While the stakes are high,
We're all fishermen, but starting a co-op is a whole different ballgame.
the rewards could secure their future and a farming way of life.
We want to make sure we're passing our land to our next generation in a better state than what we inherited in.
It's all about our families and our communities and being sustainable for the future and having something for the generations to come.
Otto loves it. All he wants to do is leave school and be a farmer. I've corrupted him.
It's 5 a.m. and like thousands of dairy farmers across Australia, Stuart Crosthwaite is answering dawn's call of the cows. Stuart's family has been milking in Victoria's Kiwa Valley for more than 160 years.
I didn't really see the family farm as something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I thought, I want to be an engineer, I want to build bridges, and I want to build skyscrapers. And I wasn't too good at physics, so I switched into agricultural science.
Stuart returned to the 240-hectare family farm, armed with a higher education and even higher hopes. His father had different ideas.
I thought, I'm going to go and have a crack at farming. And I all of a sudden started to appreciate how beautiful home was. So I worked with Dad for a couple of years. And that was a bit stressful. You had two generations, one kind of slowing down a little bit, and you had a young buck wanting to go fast. We didn't talk for 12 months, and that was pretty tough. And Mum was probably the glue in the whole thing. She kept the dialogue going. I think having his input and wisdom and experience was really helpful, and is still helpful. He still helps me on the farm today. And I reckon, actually, in hindsight, my relationship with Mum and Dad is probably better than it has been even when I was a kid, probably.
But just as Stuart took over the farm from his dad, disaster struck.
The nation's largest dairy food company, Murray Goulburn, is closing 3 factories across regional Victoria and Tasmania.
We are shocked. These are significant job losses.
It's quite devastating news. Talking to a lot of business owners this morning, it's not looking good for the community.
2,500 dairy farms faced financial ruin.
From my point of view and our family's point of view, it was unbelievably stressful just dealing with the financial situation we found ourselves in.
I remember actually being in the car and the ABC radio was on and, heard something on the news and I just thought, what does that actually mean for us? It meant a lot of hurt and pain and a lot of financial stress for us, as it did for many people.
With a corporation circling, Stuart and his neighbours started making plans to save the farm.
It was a stressful time. I like to think that I can pay my bills on time, and not being able to do that was a really difficult feeling. And in a small community where you know everybody, not being able to pay on time or pay the full amount was something that I really struggled with.
We were really disappointed how Murray Goulburn treated us as people and as members of a so-called cooperative. A combination of the uncertainty, the financial stress and how we were treated as people was pretty tough.
So today we head towards the King Valley. We do little towns in between. So we deliver about an 80k radius from the store.
Down the road in a nearby valley, a community has turned to a cooperative in their times of crisis.
We offer a free service. We're not trying to make a great deal of money out of it. A lot more businesses are structured for profit. But yeah, we're just trying to serve the community in the surrounding areas.
Driver Pete delivers for a cooperative store called Tafco in the Victorian country town of Myrtleford. It's the heart of a community that's overcome adversity many times.
Oh, it's great. Sort of you get out and about, meeting all the people.
First stop is Silvana and Elio Micheli, second-generation farmers of Italian origin.
Here, Thunder. Girl. Hey, ciao, Peter.
How are you?
I'm well, and you?
That's good. Very good.
Lovely to see you. So you've got our load?
We have.
Wonderful. Oh, you've got my flour. That's good.
Flour.
I need that this week. Peter calls at the farm every fortnight, and it's very convenient because we don't have to travel. We live about 70 k's from Myrtleford. Just ring up Tafco and they will deliver on the Tuesday for us. And that saves us a lot of time and travel.
Thank you very much.
And we
Merry
look
Christmas to you.
look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Will do. Thank you for your service.
Arrivederci presto.
Yeah, ciao for you.
Good on you.
Before ordering flour, Silvana and Elio were successful tobacco farmers. They were one of many in northeastern Victoria, producing more than a third of all Australia's tobacco. But in 2006, the industry drew its last breath, crushing many family farms.
The death knell has sounded for that most unloved of industries, tobacco.
I understand there's a lot of older growers that want it out probably anyway, but what do the younger growers like myself do? What do we do now? And there's quite a few number of us.
A recent statewide survey ranks Myrtleford as one of the more disadvantaged areas in Victoria. The loss of the lucrative tobacco industry is a blow it can ill afford.
After the tobacco had folded, we were left without our main income and a son that has come home to take over the farm with two lovely children and twins on the way. And we went numb and thinking, what are we going to do now? How are we going to all live? It was pretty devastating because that's all we knew, the tobacco. We had the bushfires a few months later. Then we had floods which devastated the property. It just became so overwhelming. And I just sort of fell into a little bit of a dark hole and just could not get myself out of it.
Silvana refused to be beaten. Her salvation was to dig deep into her Italian heritage.
Okay, do you want to start that machine off to cut them, Elio, please? Elio said, I think it's time that you started making homemade pasta, just like your mum did. Once I started making pasta, I found it the best therapy. It'll be fine. And I couldn't stop. And I just kept making and making. This is my mum Adele's recipe, who always made her own pasta. So Pasta Adele was born. I'm just passionate about it now and think of my mum. Every time I make pasta, my mum's beside me. And I have to be very careful how I make my pasta and make sure that I treat it with respect because I know she's watching over me. She's watching over me and it has to be done just the same as she did or she would not be happy. But it's true. I'm going to cry. She's here now.
Silvana's pasta passion runs in the family, who happen to live next door.
Well, we're very fortunate to have our son and his family live practically on our back doorstep because we feel secure here, knowing that they are within arm's reach. The fact that we can have the grandkids just walk in and out of our front door or back door is amazing. They will fold the boxes for us. They help us pack the pasta. My son Steve and my daughter-in-law Michelle help with the sauce making.
Looks pretty good.
We go through, on an average, of 480 eggs a week. 40 dozen eggs.
Beautiful.
Okay, all good?
Lovely. Lovely.
There you go,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Silvana. Looks delicious.
Very good.
Bog in.
Beautiful.
What does one say before meals? Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
I was born in Italy and came to Australia when I was 4.5. The Italians like all the family together, have meals and all sit around the table and interact a lot. So there'll be more box making this afternoon, boys and girls?
Wow.
No time for play this afternoon.
It's a beautiful part of the world to live. You know, look around you. We've got great access to water, great soils. It's a beautiful part of the world to live, but growing up as a kid, I didn't appreciate that, but I certainly do now.
The green fields of Victoria produce 65% of Australia's milk. But when a very large co-op failed, Stuart went back to the future to save his family farm. He joined forces with the neighbours to start their own co-op.
I do generally call myself the tallest dairy farm in Australia. That isn't a fact, but I reckon I'd be close, being 208 centimetres or 6'10". So I do tend to stand out from the crowd. So maybe that's part of my vulnerability and sensibility, is people always tend to see you and notice who you are. So sometimes it's almost a bit... Now, as you get older and more comfortable within yourself and who you are, that becomes like, well, that's me. We've been living in this area for 150 years, our family, and quite a few of the other families in the group have been around for generations as well.
Scott McKillop's dairy is just a kilometre away, as the crow flies, from Stuart.
He's just moving about 27 bales off a small paddock, so we're just going to take them back to the hay shed, get them under cover. There's some rain coming, hopefully, in the middle of the week.
A sixth-generation dairy farmer, Scott also faced losing it all.
When Murray Goulburn fell apart, we could see the writing was on the wall, it was going to collapse. We thought, well, we had two choices. We could stay as price takers and just go with the flow and go with the rest of the crowd, or we could try and do something a little bit different and take a bit of charge over our own future. Cooperatives are something that's natural to this environment, to our community. Rural communities at their heart are almost cooperatives anyway, because it doesn't matter whether it's the primary school or the football club or whatever it might be. People work together for better outcomes as a natural process as part of rural communities. And we like to see better outcomes for everybody, not just ourselves.
It's a modern take on an old way of farming.
What I learnt was the history, how far cooperatives go back, and especially in Europe. So we're challenging the norm that cooperatives, or the perception perhaps that cooperatives are an old, outdated business model, that they can work.
Nearby dairy farmer Teresa Hicks has also joined Stuart and Scott in the new co-op.
I've always grown up on farm. Mum had the dairy farm. That was fun. Growing up with a dairy. Just being involved with animals and seeing the life cycles of the animals and being able to ride horses around and motorbikes, and you can't beat it. Like, it's freedom. So yeah, love it.
Teresa has just taken over the family dairy farm and is learning the ropes from her mum and mentor, Christine.
Hey, doll. They're good. Yeah, my mum's very knowledgeable. She's always been home on the farm, and cows are her passion. So, yeah, passing on all that knowledge has been hugely beneficial. How was your hunting?
Very good.
She's always been present.
So when she's walking and she's putting pressure on it, that opening, it closes up.
Yep.
It's very painful. It's like if you've got a bad cut on your finger.
We both have very similar personalities, so we can clash.
What do you reckon, hey? It's hard work, isn't it, working? Yeah, make all that milk.
There's heaps of risks involved in farming, but the cooperative, for me, is everyone farming together as a collective, becoming better as a collective and learning together. It's a very positive thing because I don't see the corporations being able to do that. They're governed by a different structure, and I don't think that supports the community spirit that we need.
Come on, girls. Come on. Boy. Come on. Boy, boy.
The cow is an individual. She's not a machine. And it's the same with all livestock. It's the same with the soils and the environment and everything around us. You can't just keep treating it like it's a machine, and it's important that we get back to those fundamental roots. When the next charge comes through, we'll just wait for it to
Yeah,
finish
wait
up.
till we finish.
The family farm, they know deeply about their animals, and that it doesn't happen on the same level as in a corporate farm. It's important that we don't undermine and devalue the family farm.
Come on. Get out. Come on.
The majority of farms in Australia are still family farms. It's 90+% of farms in Australia are family farms. Corporates come and go, but we need to foster the family farm. Corporates' number one goal is maximum profit. A cooperative is about maximum value. It's a massive difference.
Today, the dairy farmers are meeting to vote for a leader.
When we got together and formed the Mountain Milk Co-op, we started with 5 members. You need 5 members to start a cooperative. We're now at 8 members.
Stuart is up for re-election.
And call for nominations of chair.
I'd nominate Stuart for chair.
Yeah, Stuart, would you accept that nomination?
Yes.
Would anybody like to second that nomination?
I'll second it again.
All in favour?
I suppose.
Oh, well done. Congratulations.
Well done, Stuart.
You're back in the
thank you.
chair. You can take
Thank you.
over.
I'm chuffed that they want me as their chairman. It's quite an honour, really. I mean, we're a bunch of farmers one day, and then the next we're coming together to form a co-op.
It's quite humbling to be leading this organisation as it's developing and growing and carving out its own future. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
I'd like to call for nominations for deputy chair.
Scotty, happy to be nominated?
Yeah.
I would accept that nomination.
Well done, everyone.
Therapeutic to be in charge of our own destiny, and that's the beauty of a cooperative.
CEO Patton Bridge knows his dairy farmers have a fight on their hands as they look to expand.
The trend in the world is towards greater corporatisation. So most of the milk in the world is managed by large corporations. And in these valleys, it's a different story. The cooperative story is a story where the farmers are deciding what their future is, what they want to create in relation to their relationships with themselves and their communities.
Pre-dawn, South Australia's limestone coast. Rock lobster fisherman Slim Riley is heading out for his last catch of the season.
When you go out there, every day is different. It's expectations of what your daily catch is going to be, which is always exciting. My trade's carpenter since early 20s. I loved amateur fishing, and there was just an opportunity with an old Italian mate. I managed to secure a lease with him. I bought a boat the second year in and just went from there.
Slim and his nephew, Matthew, will cover 80 kilometres pulling up pots.
Lovely. I love me fishing, and I love fishing around the reef, so...
I think there's certainly elements of danger. Over the years, there's been fishermen that's lost their lives.
Oh, yeah, we've had a few close calls in our time, but I guess that comes with a bit of experience. You can never take your eyes off the sea, that's what we've learned, that's for sure.
But this is the worst season in Slim's 25 years at sea. China, the main export market, stopped buying southern rock lobsters.
Very angry today.
As far as the trade war goes, with the current markets, and it is tough. It's not very easy. given the situation. We've got to stop-start fishing, and it's pretty hard for all the fishermen. We want a price that's a fair price in the market, which only happens through the co-op.
Beautiful prehistoric creature, I've always said.
Today is Slim's last chance to cash in before the season ends. With income slashed, some fishermen may not survive until next season.
Don't want that one. Big old eel. Haven't caught many of them this year yet.
In Victoria's King Valley, the TAFCO truck is on its way to supply another co-op member.
G'day, Pete. How's it going?
Fred, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well. Really well.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it is a while.
Right,
It's never not.
Some more balance twine.
Yep.
Some poly pipe, some builder cement, and some lime.
Like Silvana, Fred Pizzini was a tobacco farmer. He also has Italian heritage.
Mum and Dad started the business back in 1959, 1960.
But when he saw the writing on the wall, Fred quickly switched to grapes.
I feel very proud of where we are today as a family business, working together in the wine industry. TAFCO has played a big part of where we are today with the development and the continued development of our vineyards. Just amazing to be able to ring them up and order a fence post or a vineyard post or some wire. I always seem to be in a position to be able to help you out. So we've got a long history with TAFCO, probably over 30 years. Sure, we could buy some of our products from other businesses around the area, but we prefer to shop there and keep that business thriving. There is a sense of ownership because you buy some shares in there and it just feels as if you are part of that company, part of that family. There's a sense of proudness, to be proud that you are part of what the co-op is doing. When you do go and visit to go and buy at the shop itself, you always run into someone that you may not have seen for a period of time and just catch up with all the gossip.
And so who's grafting? Just, you've got a crew, your vineyard crew?
Contractors, yeah. We're pretty lucky. They're a pretty good team. They've had a few years' experience.
One of the greatest threats to any family farm is convincing the kids to take the reins.
We're just handed over the business to the third generation, which are 4 of my children. From Trey Joel, a winemaker. Natalie's an environmental science, but she's just an awesome marketer, PR type person. So the third generation is going along really nicely. It's quite fantastic. These vineyards were planted 2 years ago, Charlie, and we're setting them up basically to grow their first crop next year. With the 4th generation, as grandparents, it's really terrific to see the grandchildren getting involved and working. So they come up during the school holidays or whenever they think that they need a few extra bucks because they might want to buy a bike or whatever, they come and work on the farm. Nearly all of these new shoots here will be pretty much the fruit for next year. And then just hook them up so that they're grown up upright.
Growing up and not drooping down.
Yep, they're enjoying this
the sun.
Amazing sort of spring that we had in this incredible summer. At the end of the day, they are living things. You look after them, they'll look after you.
On the Limestone Coast, it's a big day for Fisherman Slim.
Our last day for the season. Catching our quota quite comfortably today. And always something really to look forward to, so. Just looking forward to finishing and tidying the gear up and having a bit of a spell for a while.
With southern rock lobsters fetching top dollar, corporations began circling Slim and his fellow fishermen.
Certainly, I've been seeing it for a while, as a lot of us have. The corporates coming in and put cheap crew on and put cheap skippers on and pretty much trying to take over as far as we're concerned.
Don't want that one.
But they stood together and, 2 years ago, started a co-op to protect their livelihoods. It covers 7 ports across 425 kilometres of South Australia's southern coastline.
Yeah. Lovely. Very angry today.
So we started going over to Western Australia and went to the Geraldton Fishermen's Co-op, talked to quite a few fishermen over there, and you could just see the passion and the way they done things. They were just professional and excellent at it. And it just evolved from there, really.
Today, Slim has 150 kilograms of lobsters on board.
Have a good look at these. It's a great day's catch. Awesome.
It's a strong end to a season that's seen his income drop 50% due to the collapse of the China market.
Yep, unloading the pots. All ready for next year. We've got to put them in the shed and get them ready for next year. So, and the market, that's probably the biggest concern of all the fishermen at the moment is really the market. So, yeah, I suppose you could say a little nervous about it in that sense, but I'm sure being involved with the co-op, there won't, you know, there'll be an answer.
We're all fishermen and we all run successful businesses within our fishing, but starting a co-op is a whole different ballgame.
With a cloud hanging over the next season, the co-op has turned to a young, new CEO.
So I guess I'm a bit of an idealist. I very much like the idea of, you know, that generational family business, and I saw that that was something that the co-op model delivered. And having lived in and grown up, you know, as a child in coastal towns and worked in them later in life, that was something that appealed to me. Average days fished at the moment, 75 days, from what I can gather, across each boat. As a CEO, I see the role particularly about communication. So I think our members are very informed and they're very involved in that decision-making process.
So when you sell to some of the other operators?
So they're not just clients for me, they're not just members of the co-op, they're friends, they're family.
Justin, he was just the perfect person.
He's pretty much the backbone of the co-op.
Yeah.
He's pretty much the glue that holds it all together.
We're always going to be there to sell their fish.
I was given some good advice early on in my career by a fisherman. Always be honest, always tell the truth. And that's one of the values that underpins the co-op as well. Honesty and truth, integrity, those types of values. And provided we stick to that path, then we can't go wrong.
That's what we've built it on, and that's our intentions to keep it going like that.
In the Kiwa Valley, the milk truck is due soon. Dairy farmers crave a stable and long-term milk price. Under the old system, they wouldn't be told the price until the end of each financial year.
6232. Oh yeah, it's a heifer.
Yeah.
So when we got together as a cooperative and formed the Mountain Milk Co-op, we thought long and hard about the milk price structure, so how we get paid. We've been able to negotiate a multiple year contract, so we've got 3 years of vision around our milk price.
It's the first time these farmers have secured a 3-year deal.
Is fantastic. We can just get on and do our business and be a normal operating business like anyone else. I can plan some investments and some maintenance, and it's really good. It's really refreshing.
Bale 34 is not working for some reason.
You know, the investment we've seen across all of our members is pretty staggering, really. You know, people are buying farms, building new dairies, investing in new infrastructure. It's impressive stuff.
She's been round twice. It's some of the freshest milk you'll ever have, straight from the cows this morning. Nice and creamy, and yeah, it'll probably go on our cornflakes and probably a milkshake or two.
It's 9 a.m, time for milk collection at Stewart's Dairy.
Hey, Chris. Today there's around 13,000 litres in there, so he'll pump all that out and take a couple of samples from it. And they're testing the quality and they're testing the fat and protein content, which is what we get paid on. The milk in our cooperative is some of the best in the country. It's probably, most of it's in the top 5 or 10% in terms of quality.
Stewart's milk will end up on the premium shelves and in long-life milk.
About 65% of Australia's milk is produced in Victoria, and the dairy industry sort of punches above its weight. So only about 8% of the arable land is in dairy, but it produces about 30% of farm gate income. So it generates jobs and makes these local economies vibrant. So it's really important that we've got a healthy dairy sector.
The next step for these ambitious dairy farmers is to create a new identity to take on the big guys.
If we're just supplying milk to somebody else who's then taking it to market for us, we're never going to get the full value from that individually and collectively. So we're looking at starting a milk bottling venture, which could then lead to many other options as well. We already have our milk going into Gundowring Fine Foods and into their fantastic ice cream. Like, it is top shelf ice cream, won awards all around the country. It's magnificent. We don't want to be just another, brand on the shelf. We want to stand out and be really proud of what we do.
Today, the dairy farmers are stepping well outside their comfort zone.
We don't regard ourselves as experts in marketing at all. So we've been working with some people who are pretty good at that stuff.
Today's an exciting day when we're trying to work out the essence of our brand and who we are to get to the point where we're really at the pointy end of deciding what our brand name is going to be, but also around what those values are around the brand.
Welcome, everyone. Hopefully today we can walk away with a new brand name. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we go.
So today we've got the board and also some other members of the co-op. One of the important things about a co-op is it's a bottom-up decision-making process. It's not just the board, it's the whole membership group that will have an input.
A lot of the words that we've spoken about are tradition and heritage and wholesome and proud and getting back to the history of everything. And we're all multi-generational farms, so that all ties in nicely from our community to yours. The other one that we've thrown around is this caring, care milk or caring milk or caring for our animals, our environment and our people.
One of the challenges that we've had, which is both a challenge and an opportunity, is everybody thinks differently. At times, some of the most fruitful discussions we've had have been those where we've actually had a bit of tension, and they've actually been the periods where we've actually made the best decisions. It has been very challenging at times, but I think there's always been good come from those challenges.
But after 3 hours, there's no resolution. Sometimes the price of democracy is big decisions take time.
I know it's a complex space and everybody's got different perspectives, so we've done a lot of groundwork and I think people are pretty much on the same page about what we want to be, but landing on a name is not the easiest thing in the world that everyone's happy with.
After a long day, delivery driver Pete is back at home base, the largest agricultural store in Victoria's Alpine region. It's called TAFCO.
Just a final check-off. I think that's it.
The T in TAFCO stands for tobacco, which used to be the major crop in the district. But when the industry closed in 2006, farmers in the community were hit hard.
The whole town, we lost a whole lot. The whole industry just closed up. For us, for the cooperative, we went from probably a $4.8 million business that probably halved overnight. It was drastic. We predominantly sold tobacco products. We were owned by the tobacco growers. So we had to go out and find new products to sell. It was a tough time,
Tony Vaccaro has been TAFCO manager since 1989.
Hey, Blake. How are you?
Thanks.
It's good. What's going on?
Doing some fencing.
Doing some fencing? Too hot for fencing, mate.
No.
Too hot for fencing.
Need 150 steel posts.
At first, Tony struggled with the concept of a co-op.
At the start, all I wanted to do was make money or make profits for the co-op. But the co-op is about giving back, and I found that really, really hard to sort of do.
How are you, mate? What are you after?
It took me quite a few years to realise that our cooperative is there to give money back to the members and back to the community. So we give a bit back, we give some to the community, we keep some up our sleeve. So it took us nearly 10 years to get back to where we were. We now have 620 members It's a meeting place for everybody. It's just a great place to be at, yeah.
South Australian lobster fishers are trying to expand their market after lucrative sales to China fell foul of diplomatic tensions with Australia.
But with the domestic price sitting at half of what Chinese customers were paying, processors don't know what the future holds.
In Beachport, the co-op is fighting back. Its modest processing plant is creating a local market.
The factory was definitely designed as far as the operation of the tanks and the live structure set up. The staff worked their butts off to cook, which was not easy. We pretty much had to transform it in a short space of time. The staff were working some nights till midnight just to make all this happen. We only had one cooker, so it was a big effort, massive effort.
The fishermen have also opened a shop.
Beachport is known as a fishing village, but you couldn't buy a crayfish or local fresh fish in Beachport. So the co-op has filled that void now, and we have for sale here our beautiful fresh lobster from the boat and supporting our local fishermen.
The challenge is the Chinese prefer live lobsters. Australians like theirs cooked.
There's a strong cultural significance for the product in China. It relates back to the importance and significance placed on that red dragon and the way our product presents on the table. That doesn't exist anywhere else. There's still demand for it elsewhere, but certainly not the price and not the volumes that we've seen from China.
And we've got people travelling from all over the state to get fresh fish and fresh crayfish. It's nice that the co-op is able to provide this service now, and we've got control of our own destiny.
And that's brilliant. But I think what's not at the forefront is the loss, that incurs. There's a very real economic loss and social impacts as a result of that as well. And the longer this drags on, the worse that will be. Broadly across the industry, what this means is you'll see change and rationalisation and corporatisation accelerate.
It'll be a bit sad to see, but there'll be a lot of financial pressure on quite a few fishermen, some of the younger ones that have come in and people that have borrowed money to buy pots, and it's not going to be an easy season. It'll be tough.
From the co-op's perspective, the best outcome is that families and fishing families retain ownership of those assets. And by doing that, then the returns from the industry are staying within the small communities and towns from which they operate.
Most fishermen have got family involved, whether it be a nephew, cousin, son-in-laws. So that part of it, we hope will never change. And that's one of our goals, is to keep the money in the town. Hey, buddy! Hey! How you going, mate?
For Slim and Mandy, it's a family affair that has lasted 35 years and counting.
No crayfish in there now.
He's got seawater running through his veins. He's so passionate about his job.
I think it's fantastic. Love it.
We never make a decision individually. It's always a partnership decision. And we do involve our girls in every decision we make as a family, just in family life in general and also in our business life.
We work pretty closely together with all that sort of stuff, for sure.
What's that? That's Poppy's cray pots.
Yeah.
Kids are great, love the kids. A new chapter with the grandchildren. Like any good relationship, affectionate, and we love our family.
I'm the money person.
Yes. If you asked me how much money we had in the bank, I probably wouldn't get it.
He wouldn't have any idea, to be quite honest.
I wouldn't. But that's the trust, isn't it?
We've had COVID to deal with, and we've also had political issues this year. To be able to survive that is pretty special.
What?
In Victoria's Kiwa Valley, the next generation of dairy farmers is on the way.
This one's hungry, look at it.
We've decided to form a co-op because it's all about the next generation. And it's not about us, it's not about self-greed, it's about building something for the next generation and the generation beyond that.
I reckon it's pretty cool to have our own business. Hopefully we can make ice cream and stuff. Get lots of free stuff.
I'm impressed with these guys, how they've just come over. I thought they would have been, I mean, look at all the grass.
In their lifetime, they're about my age and they just eat everything like me.
Otto loves it. All he wants to do is leave school and be a farmer, so I've corrupted him. I love where we farm, I love where we are, and to have your kids and your family embrace it as well, it's pretty special.
Dairy farmer Teresa has good news about her next generation.
We are halfway through our pregnancy with our first. So it's pretty exciting times, and it's very timely because we're in a very secure position, you know, with the co-op, and we feel comfortable.
Look at that one. She's going to be a tank when she gets older.
I want there to be a place here. If our kids choose to continue on with dairying, I want them to have a good place where they can take on those passions and responsibilities and hopefully see this out as a fourth-gen farm. And I see the co-op's role in that, yeah, making sure these businesses can remain sustainable and create that legacy.
Families running farms in communities, we're the most invested in those communities, where, as compared to corporates, their models can work, but I don't think they have that investment in the community like the family farming operation can have. I think people want to come and see productive, beautiful farming areas where they can look out and see cows that are happy, productive pastures and farms that are well cared for. We want to make sure that we're passing our land to our next generation in a better state than what we inherited in. Can you watch the utes on me?
No.
Oh, very nice.
After the collapse of the previous co-op, the small band of dairy farmers are celebrating their third year together.
So we're just bringing the salads for our end-of-year lunch. Smells great.
I wanted to thank all of you, you know, in trusting in the co-op. I think all of you are amazingly courageous in backing it and creating something that we can all trust and we can all look towards a future with.
Let's go and grab some ice cream.
These guys are my peers. Done a lot of learning with them over the years. It's a real joy seeing everyone, you know, playing together today and being happy and celebrating what has been a good year for dairy for our co-op.
I said to Otto, have you had enough to eat? No, I'm just leaving it so I've got enough room for ice cream, he said. Oh. Straight to the raspberry, Otto?
I think raspberry's the best one. 10 out of 10.
We want to see success in all farming ventures in the valley, because successful farmers, they employ people, they bring people to the schools, to the football clubs, and are really responsible for the health of the community. So I see Mountain Milk as being, you know, an enormous part of the ongoing success in the area. If I'm thinking of one word to describe the Mountain Milk Co-op at the moment, it's challenging. Challenging in terms of creating a difference for not just ourselves, but again for the greater community. There's a lot of unknowns, so I think that's also part of the passion and the drive that continues to push us.
Beautiful ice cream. Oh, fantastic. Made out of mountain milk, you know that?
Yeah, the creaminess of it, the
Flavour.
freshness of it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
The co-op's been really exciting. It's not the big guys that have got the power and the little guys have got to take what they're given. We're all the same, regardless of size.
On 3. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Board members.
It's hard to see it, isn't it?
Oh, thanks.
In Myrtleford, it's market day for the co-op.
The markets, they warm my heart, the markets. We love the markets. TAFCO are the market. They are there to make sure that it runs smoothly, no hassles. You go there, you set up, sell your produce and go home, and TAFCO takes care of everything else. They are amazing.
Alan, how are you going? These tents, how are they?
Every market needs that person who's always there to lend a hand. At this one, it's TAFCO board member Lachlan Campbell.
Where did you want it, Franco?
He's there helping stallholders, setting up. You can see that he's very passionate about the market.
The TAFCO Myrtleford Farmers Market is a key part of the community here. I want to really make sure that it's really embedded. That's the success of the market.
Today, 700 locals will browse the 20 stalls. A pretty good turnout for a town of 3,000.
I haven't seen you for ages. Hey, you been well?
So it's not only providing an opportunity for those small businesses, but it's also a fantastic opportunity to build the social fabric of the town. You go to the great European markets in France and Italy, it's almost as big as religion. And so Myrtleford has this wonderful, vibrant, multicultural community. And so how good is it to tap into that and provide a market that brings people together?
Was there a particular one you were after?
Silvana's a real entrepreneur. And she saw the opportunity to refer back to her mother's pasta recipes, commercialise those, package them up, and she is the heart and soul of that business.
Fresh, free-range eggs, yes.
So the market not only plays a social connection, but it provides a commercial opportunity for farmers like Silvana to remain farming and provide a cash flow and build a business. Agriculture is so risky, you need a range of income sources.
Frankie, do you want to put a table there? Do you want to put a table over there? I'll go and get another one.
Fundamentally, this region is so diverse. Our diversity is our point of difference. It's our celebration. We need to be able to display that and put it out there for people to see and enjoy and value. And then that then creates tourism, creates jobs. And then those businesses hopefully can flourish and spread their wings to bigger things. How good's that?
Doesn't get any better than this, guys.
All right, we're now going to move to the director's report.
Okay.
When he's not holding the market together, Lachlan sits on the TAFCO board. He's keenly aware that co-ops can be fragile.
While being a cooperative is our strength, I think it could also be our weakness. It really frightens me, the failure rate in farming cooperatives. Murray Goulburn is a classic. Really makes me nervous, makes me hungry to make sure TAFCO survives. It needs to be really community-facing. Get that right, the business will take care of itself. If that fails or falls apart, then it might be the flip side of why cooperatives don't succeed. We've got 30 years, I'd like to think we've got another 30 years.
We've still got to do some things for the grape growers, and we're actually going to talk about that a bit later. What's it called?
It's an international symposium that's running out of Wangaratta for smoke and wine grapes. I think it's a great opportunity for TAFCO to get involved, perhaps around the mental health issue.
The co-op's other role is to care for its community that, like so many on the land, suffers when natural disasters strike.
Well, mental health's such an important part of our communities these days. We've had a range of droughts and bushfires in these communities. We've lost $140 million worth of grapes in the last bushfires because of the smoke inundation in the berries. We provide health checks. We have mental health nurses there. Just trying to support our community, our members, who are critically important to us as a business. But also it's broader community. You don't have to be a member of TAFCO to get the benefits.
We got 18 professional fishermen out of Beachport. 15 of those are within our co-op, which is fantastic.
In Beachport, safety in numbers is keeping the fishermen afloat in a crisis.
Not a good situation to be in at the moment, but This is where we've all got to get together as fishermen to work through this, everyone banding together. Probably a classic example why I joined the co-op, because all the information, all the work we do, we're all doing it more as a team.
Today, Slim is on his way to a co-op meeting. Number one agenda item, the crippling China crisis.
All right, firstly, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a meeting that's another important one for us. Obviously, time's been testing.
CEO Justin is the man with the plan.
You doing what you've done has given us a leg up. It's a good thing. It's set up on good values. I think it's proving itself now as a safety net. It's provided we don't go broke and we stick to what we just talked about, we're going to be here to sell your fish when we can sell the fish.
What's the, say, the next month looking like? Is it still going because of the Chinese New Year?
Given the situation, we've got to stop-start fishing, and it's pretty hard for all the fishermen.
It's already going to speed up.
It's still our focus is to try and get everyone to work together and have a common goal. We want a price that's a fair price in the market.
As a co-op, this is our second season of actually trading as an exporter, processor and exporter of Australian southern rock lobster. I don't think we could have picked a more challenging 2 years to commence trading. From rolling closures and shutdowns of trade as a result of COVID directly, then as a result of trade tensions. Our journey so far has been tough.
Just like TAFCO, this co-op also cares for its community. Every Friday night, locals and co-op members gather at the home of retired fisherman Tony, a legend of the sea. Although tonight, it's charcoal chicken on the menu.
Boys, let's propose a toast at Tony's 93rd birthday.
93 next week.
Salute.
Yes,
All the best.
All the best, Tony.
Yeah, all the best. Good health, boys.
When Tony retired, Slim wanted to look after his old mate. And so a tradition was born.
Friday night I come around, started off just bringing a feed of fish, and then worked into cooking him a feed of fish. Sitting down for a red wine, he sort of gives you a bit of a nudge and says, you've got to have just a red wine, Slim. It just went on from there, and it's just turned into a Friday night special. A boys' night out. Tony loves the Friday nights, don't you?
Yeah. Very young fox.
Young fox. Calls me young fox, I call him old fox. Cheers, old mate.
No, cheers. All the best.
Old fox.
The young fox.
Best thing, the camaraderie within the co-op, and
they're all focused. They've all got that same end goal. It's all about our families and our communities and being sustainable for the future and having something for the generations to come.
Look how straight they are, aren't they?
Across Australia, small family farms are fighting back.
What we're looking for is this coloration in the plant. The nice dark green leaves like that.
Yeah. On land and at sea, they're banding together.
Oh, hello, Miss. Where have you been? Oh, I love my animals. I love the jerseys. Animals are my passion. It just makes sense for us to be involved in the co-op.
In a modern take on an old way of farming.
We love where we farm, so we love our environment. We're all proud of how we farm and who we are as businesses and people within the broader community.
I think the success is not just measured by financial. I think, again, it's that wealth of knowledge that we're creating.
Not many people can say that they love to go to work every day.
just love seeing a pot full of red crays come up.
Saving Australia's small family farms for future generations.
People, you say, oh, you're a dairy farmer, oh, poor you, So, no, we choose to be farmers because we love it. So we want people to be empathetic, not sympathetic. You're up at 4 or 5 in the morning, you finish late, but that's okay, that's what we do, we love that.
Whether you're a lobster fisherman, a dairy farmer, or a retail agency, it's all about the community. You take your eye off that, and I think that just makes you another business. And that's what makes cooperatives special.